Athletes, how you doing? I am so glad you guys chose this lesson at the Volley Academy, dealing with goal setting and measuring your success. My name is Dr. Ed Garrett. I'm a full-time associate professor and a certified mental performance consultant through the Association for Applied Sports Psychology. On top of that, I coached volleyball for over 30 years. I was a D1 volleyball official and was blessed to be in the 1996 Summer Olympics as the manager of the men's and women's beach volleyball programs. So I've experienced quite a bit on multiple levels on what makes goal setting successful. And so dealing with it from the cognitive, the way we think about things, the way we process things, is where I want to take this lesson. Now I want you to pause here and think about, you're getting ready for your season, you're in the middle of your season, or you might be ending your season. Wherever you are, what's going to excel you over your teammates, over the opponents, over maybe the tryout that you're going to? What's going to give you the mental edge? I'm a firm believer goal setting is one of the greatest ways to help catapult you into playing not just harder, but smarter. So we're going to get into this lecture. We're going to get into this session. I encourage you to take as many notes as possible. Now, there was an attachment that came with this lesson. I want you to make sure that you downloaded it, you've printed it off, and you're ready to use it when we get to it at the end of the lecture. Cool? You ready to get started? Let's get psyched. Here we go. Session outline. What do I want to accomplish? What do I want you to be able to walk away with? Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to define the goals and the different types. We're going to go over why goal setting works, the principles of goal setting, groups of goals, defining a goal setting system that works for you, and then more importantly, at the very end, common problems I see within goal setting because I want to make you successful. So let's jump right into it. There's several different types. Three that we talk about up front, and then the next slide is going to give you some more, are subjective, objective, and outcome goals. I want you to make sure you're writing these down. Understand, as athletes, we're kinesthetic. We learn through movement. It's vital that you take notes. Don't just watch the video and listen to the lecture and assume it's all going to sink in. Write things down, journal this out. So subjective goals, those are more of the warm fuzzies, the touchy-feelies that I like to call. Because it's hard to measure whether you're having fun in a competition or in practice. You're the only one that knows that. I really can't measure that. Your facial expressions might say it, and it might not. But you know deep down inside whether you're enjoying the game. The objective goals, more scientific based, usually in a specific time frame, and then outcome goals focus on the competitive results, beating somebody, winning the game, having a national championship, achieving a long-term goal might be the outcome. Still continuing with defining goals. You've got your performance goals. You've got your process goals. So the process goals focus on the action an individual must engage in during performance to execute the performance or perform well. Keep in mind with the process goals, you have control. Through all of this goal setting and the lecture that I'm going to give you here, you define your goals. You determine whether you're going to be successful. You cannot control the externals. You can control the internals. I'm fond of saying that, hey, can you control the fans? Can you control the opponent? Can you control the official? You can't. Can you control the other team? Can you control the lights? Can you control anything about the gym? You can't. So don't let them control you. What you can control is your focus on your goals that you set forth. So what kind of goals are we looking at? Well, basically, we're looking at goals that are going to deal with behavioral change. And it's not always negative. Behavioral change can relate very well to positive. Maybe you're good at something, but you want to become great at something. Maybe you're great at something, but you want to master something. Well, that's going to be behavioral change. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take overriding the cognitive, the mind that always bleeds in self-doubt. That's what we're trying to get through. So outcome, performance, and process goals all play a role in that behavioral change. And they can all be used in a combination of different ways when you go through this process. It's going to be about narrowing down your attention to the goals that you set forth. Still continuing on that behavioral change, okay? You can fluctuate from short-term motivation, but often it does lead, if you're just dealing with that on the outcome goals, to a lot of anxiety and stress. Why is that? If you're focused so much on the scoreboard, you're not paying attention to what you need to do on the court. If you're focused on the wins and losses, you're not taking care of the small stuff that defines success and if you win a practice. So outcome goals are great, but you really want to focus on the small measurable goals the performance and process goals that are more precise on the day-to-day basis that really can lead to the behavioral change that you're trying to seek. Still continuing on this, process and performance goals are particularly useful before or during competition. So we're going to get to setting process goals, performance goals. We're going to get to that, setting those pre-practice, evaluating those after practice, setting them for a week, measuring those as they relate to the goals, as they relate to the competition and the long-term, the outcome goal that you want at the end of the season. Too much focus on a specific performance goal, running a personal best, can create anxiety. Trying to focus solely on, hey, being the best brings about stress. Okay? If we narrow it down to the small steps it takes, it's a matter of seeing the forest before the trees is what we're going to get through within goal setting. And then down there last, process goals have all the advantages of performance goals. They work well together. So why goal setting works? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, my athletes, as I'm talking to you, and I've shared with multiple athletes over my 30 years, this is not voodoo. You may have done goal setting before in some realm with your coach individually, but we're going to take it a little farther. We're gonna make this goal setting grow and just blow up so that it's something you can look back and go, wow, it helped build my motivation in what I'm trying to accomplish. Let me pause right there and let me give you a scenario that might put this in perspective. When you were young, I'm talking 2-3 years old, and you were learning to tie your shoes, you fought that. It was difficult. You had an emotional response. You cried. You told your mom and dad, I'm never wearing shoes again. You know what I'm talking about? You probably even tried to give up. But over the course of time, you stayed at it. You stayed at it. You stayed at it. Where you're sitting listening to this lecture today, did you think about at all tying your shoes? Before you stepped on the court and put your volleyball shoes on, did you think at all about tying your shoes? No. Here's why. It's become a part of the process. Goal setting, for this to be successful, for this to mean something and define success for you, has to be something you do on a regular basis. It has to become a part of your practice. That's why goal setting works. Goal setting takes the focus from here to here. Too many times inside of a game, inside of a practice, your cognitive, your focus is just going crazy. And you always, at times, look back and go, why did I do what I did? Why did I make that decision? It's because your focus was all over the place. It was too broad. Goal setting brings it back so it's a measurable, simple focus on something you yourself have defined whether you want to measure success by. Goal setting still works for many reasons because it influences the psychological state that we're in. I'm fond of sharing with athletes all the time. It's not about playing harder. It's about playing smarter. Volleyball is a psycho sport, athletes. You know what I'm talking about. And by you clicking on this lesson here within the Volley Academy means you want to get smarter about the way you play your game. Dr. G is here to help. So therefore, we want to set those performance goals more so than outcome. We know the outcome. Outcome goals like winning a championship. No duh, everybody does. You start the season by wanting to win a championship. But how are you measuring that success along the way? What's going to get you there? What's going to break down anxiety, build up confidence and satisfaction in the game you love to play? This is a great game. But how do you walk off the court after a hard day of practice, being in the pit, hitting lines for an hour, defense, diving all over the floor? What defines success? What keeps you from saying, I quit? It's hitting those measurable goals that increase that confidence. That's where we're trying to go. So the principles of goal setting are pretty simple. You want to use the stat format. I'll get to it in a few more slides and define stats for you, but it really deals with modifying and being realistic with your goals, setting those long-term and those short-term goals, setting performance process goals as well as the outcome goal, and we're going to talk about that. Setting practice and competition. Don't fall in the mistake where many athletes do and just said, hey, I want to win a game. Great. How are you going to get there? And then recording your goals. Looking back to your past goals, knowing that breeds confidence. That breeds, hey, look at what I've done, and I know I can make more out of what I'm doing on the court. Principles of goal setting continue. So let's look at this. We've got set specific goals. You want to make those goals measurable. I put 2 examples down there. General goal setting. I want to reduce my cholesterol. All right, great. What are you going to do? How is that going to be measured? Well, more specific a goal, I want to reduce my cholesterol to 290, 200 by blank date. Let's put it in a volleyball sense, not just a health sense. I want to be a great hitter. So what? Everybody wants to be. What's going to separate you? Because you're not playing harder, you're playing smarter. So let's think about this. What's going to make you a great hitter? Well, let's define, okay, this coming game, I want to hit a 350. Well, now we're getting a little more specific. You've got a measurable target of where that goal is going to go, a mark, 350. But hey, let's even take it more specific. I want to hit a 350 with 70% of my shots down the line. Whoa, that's a great goal. It is as specific as it can get. Okay? It's not dealing with the technique. Technique's going to come from your coach, from your trainers. That's dealing with the physical, the kinesthetic. Dr. G's here talking about the mind, the way you think about that process. So now we're very specific. I want to hit a 350 with 70% of my shots down the line. That's measurable. That's specific. Modify or moderately difficult and be realistic with those goals is what you want to be. A little flexible. Okay? Be specific, but know it's going to be flexible. Those goals can be liquid. Set long and short-term goals. Don't just set at the outcome. How are you going to get that? Staircase the goals that you want to hit. Set performance and process goals. For every outcome goal, set multiple process and performance goals that will lead to that desired outcome. Set practice and competition goals. Again, the athletes that just focus on, I want to win, never accomplish goal setting. It's too broad. You're here. Make it specific. Record those goals. Ink it. Don't just think it. Goals that stay in the mind are called dreams. Everybody has dreams. But the elite athletes find ways of converting those dreams to goals. Tangible, measurable, recorded goals. And we want to keep those goals in about a 75% success rate, 25% failure. I'll go over that a little more as we get into goal setting, but there's a statistical reason on why we're doing that. And then develop goal achievement strategies. Be flexible. How are you going to get there? Some of the problems I see within goal setting when I'm working with these athletes. One, convincing student athletes and exercisers that goal setting works to set the goals. Hopefully you didn't click on this course at the Volley Academy and decided, hey, you know what? This is great. I'm going to go through it, but I'm not going to use it. Look, what we designed at the Volley Academy is to make you a better athlete, not just technically, but cognitively as well. So if you're not using this, it's not going to make you better. Failing to set specific goals. Again, they're too broad. I want to win the game. I want to win a championship. That's too broad. Make those specific. Setting too many goals too often. I typically try to work with my athletes and set 1 to 2 measurable goals that we're going to accomplish either a day or a week. Keep it simple. Failing to adjust goals, understand that, again, 75% of that goal needs to be success. There's a 25% that's going to lead to failure. Let me stop right there and pause on that. Why do we go with 75% success, 25% failure? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you need to be pushed. If you know there's a chance you're going to fail, you're going to strive and work harder. If I invited a team to come in and play you, and you knew just by their record or watching them that you were going to beat them in 3, are you going to try it all? Are you really going to focus? Are you going to give 100%? You're not. There's the problem. You develop complacency. We know we're going to win. Don't set goals that you know you're going to achieve. I want you to set goals that are going to challenge you. It's that challenge that motivates you to be a better athlete, to excel on that volleyball court. That's what's going to make you a better athlete, by narrowing the goal focus down, knowing that there's a small percentage, 25%, 1/4, that you're not going to accomplish that. That will give you the focus and drive you need to make that goal realistic, okay? Failure to recognize individual differences that exist within goals, make them your goals, not what your teammates are doing. And then not providing a follow-up on those goals. One of the things you always want to be able to do is evaluate the practice. Did you hit the goals or not? Evaluate the game. Did you hit the goals or not? Why? Why not? You're going to go through peaks and valleys with your goal setting. Now, that's great. That's part of the process. And you're definitely going to win more goals than lose more goals. That's going to breed confidence. But being able to evaluate the end is critical. That's what helps the process grow and work within goal setting. Told you I was going to bring up stats. This is something I created. This is something I want you to use. We want good stats in the game of volleyball. So here at the Volley Academy, we created stats for goal setting. You want them first to be specialized, specific to you, traceable on that side. You want them achievable. You want them time-based. They need to be measured. When is that goal going to be hit? And self-sacrificing. I put that down there because there is no I in team. Though I've coached plenty of I's. I've coached athletes that try to find the I. You want to set goals that are going to help your team succeed. It's not just about you. If you want to be an All-American, you want to be All-Conference, the only way you're going to do that is by making your team better. I can't stress that enough. Though these goals that you're setting are specific to you, set them so you see how they relate to the success of your team. Make your team better by making your successful goals better. Does that make sense? All right. I asked you guys to download this at the beginning of this lecture. Hopefully you were able to do it because we're going to walk through it. There's a lot of mumbo-jumbo words that go with that, so I'm not going to bore you with a lot of it. I just want to focus on this page first. The slide, the long-term goals, the four-set, the preseason goals, and then everything in between. Start by setting the outcome goals, which are the long-term goals. Where do you want to get at the end of the season? Even if you're mid-season right now, you can still use this. And then based on those goals, I want to be the best hitter in the conference. Let's use that as an example. Then I want to set a mid-season goal that's going to reflect that. I want to set a short-term goal that's going to reflect that within the first game. And then I want to set my preseason goals that reflect that. The preseason goals should be a direct reflection of long-term goals. So if I want my long-term goal, I want to be the best hitter in the conference. My preseason goal means I probably need to be hitting a bucket of balls a day, 2 buckets of balls a day. Because the more swings, the better I get with my footwork, the better I get with my hitting mechanics, I'm going to be a better hitter. I'm going to be a smarter hitter, which means I'm going to hit that long-term goal. That's how you want to work your goals. This is a great tangible outcome or outline that I have for you. It's a wonderful handout that you can print off as many times as you want. Use it for different goals if you want to. But let's break that down even simpler. I love using 3x5 cards. This is going to go with your homework right here. You can purchase 3x5 cards at Walmart, any department store, drugstore. They're about $1 for 500. They're awesome. They're small. They're easy to use. I want you to go purchase those. And here's what we're going to do. I want you to grab a 3x5 card. If you don't have one, grab another piece of paper, and we're going to practice setting goals. I want you to write down 1 to 2 goals that you want to accomplish at the next practice. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be over the weekend, whatever it is. 1 to 2 goals that you want to accomplish. Now, keep in mind, we don't want really the warm, fuzzy goals. I want to have fun at practice. Everybody does. But how do you measure that? Bring it back to the stats that we have here at Volley Academy. That's what makes this training different. So 1 to 2 goals. I want to hit a certain percentage. I want to have a number of shots down the line or at the angle. I want to get a percentage of serves in or to zone 1 and 5. Whatever you want it to be, make it specific. Make it measurable. Now, before you begin, on the top of the card, make sure you put your name. Make sure you put your uniform number. Pop quiz. First sport or team to ever use uniform numbers. I'll give you a minute to Google search that. Go ahead. Actually, it was the New York Yankees. See, you didn't think you were going to not learn something from a professor. Come on now. We're learning. New York Yankees. Babe Ruth was number 3. Why was he number 3? He was the 3rd hitter in the lineup. There you go. Uniform numbers mean something to us. So you put down your name. You put down your uniform number. And then I want you to put down the date. Date's always important. Why? Because I want you to, 3 months from now, look back at this card and see the goals you hit. Okay? So the goals need to be measurable. They need to be not so much sports specific. They can be holistic. And what I mean by that is this. It doesn't always have to be hitting percentages. It doesn't have to be serving percentages. It could be, I want to be in bed every night by 10 p.m. Now, some of you guys just laughed at me. I understand. But think about this. If I'm in bed by 10 p.m., I'm getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which means my body's going to be more well-rested. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be energized when I perform. So it relates directly to playing volleyball. I don't want to have soda all season long. That's measurable. No soda all season long. I can walk around, verify that you're not doing that. That's a great goal. You're taking care of your body, which means you're going to perform better. So you see, I want to get all my homework in this week, which means I stay eligible. You see how it works. It doesn't just have to be on the court, it can be off the court. So it does not just have to be sports specific. And then you want to post the goals. The reason I like 3x5 cards is you can post these. So here's where you're going to post it. You're going to post it on your bathroom mirror. Why your bathroom mirror? You're going to wake up every morning, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to see it. At the end of the day, you're going to get your PJs on, you're going to get ready for bed, you're going to brush your teeth again, you're going to see it. Statistics tell me that goals in the head stay dreams and I'm never going to accomplish them, or they're going to be more difficult to accomplish. Let's put it that way. But if I write them down, then I recite them, I see them on a regular basis, they become a part of me and a part of my program, a part of my process to excel and become successful, then I'm going to accomplish them. I also encourage my athletes on another 3x5 card. I want you to write those same goals down and stick it in your gym bag. Take it with you to practice. So now you're seeing it multiple times, and now it becomes a part of you. You take it on the court, and that's what will separate you. That's what will take goal setting to the next level in how you define and measure success. Here's the caveat. Here's the end of it. You did a great job by listening to the lecture. Now put it into practice. Get those 3x5 cards. Get that worksheet. Practice it. Make it as simple as tying your shoes. And I guarantee you, 2 or 3 months down the road, I guarantee you're going to see success. You're going to go, oh my goodness, this changed my game. Now, you can always contact me here at Volley Academy. You can follow me on Twitter if you so like. I'm at SP with Dr. G, SPDRG. And I always post things on there that will help you stay motivated with your goal setting as well. But you guys did a great job. This was a great session, and I appreciate you sticking with it, taking notes. Now put it into practice. Don't just play harder, play smarter. Dr. G out. God bless you guys. Peace.